Ever seen a waterfall that bleeds? Yeah, you heard it right. Or a well that turns everything it touches into stone. What about a village where you'd swear everyone has a twin, or a city where residents randomly fall asleep for days?
A number of people there keep falling asleep at random for hours, some even for days on end.
Now, imagine standing in the silent desert, watching as rocks slowly carve their paths like ghostly artists. These aren't scenes from a fantasy film. They're real places on Earth. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Forever Green. Today, we'll show you 20 strange places that defy science. From never-ending lightning storms to a mysterious cave sealed off for 5.5 million years, these destinations challenge our understanding of the natural world. And just wait until you hear about a place in Norway where a dazzling light show baffles scientists and ghost hunters alike. You won't want to miss it, so get ready, click subscribe, and let's jump right in. 20. Blood Falls, Antarctica. Imagine standing in the icy wilderness of Antarctica, the coldest place on Earth, where everything is as white as snow. And then, out of nowhere, you spot a waterfall dropping deep red liquid as if the ice itself is bleeding. Welcome to Blood Falls, a place that looks more like a scene from a horror movie than a real location on Earth. This natural wonder isn't a sign of snow massacre, but the result of iron-rich water oozing out from a glacier. The iron in the water hits the air, rusts, and then turns the waterfall into a blood-red color. Scientists were confused by this for ages until they figured out that this water had been trapped under the glacier for over 1 million years, devoid of oxygen and chock full of iron. When it finally reaches the surface, meeting the air, it rusts instantly, painting the ice in hues of red and orange. It's a stunning display of how even in the most extreme conditions, nature can pull off some pretty dramatic effects. 19. Twin Village. Located in Nigeria, this village is known for having an extraordinarily high number of twins. Picture walking into a village where it feels like you're seeing double everywhere. No, you're not in a house of mirrors. You're in the twin village, where having a twin is more the rule than the exception. In this village, twins' births are so common that almost every other family has twins. Scientists have scratched their heads trying to figure out why this small area has such a high rate of twins. Some think it might be something in the water. Others believe it's a particular gene prevalent in the village. However, no one knows for sure. What is clear is that this village challenges everything we think we know about genetics and probability. It's a curious case that not only baffles visitors, but also keeps genetic researchers coming back for more clues. 18. Old Faithful, Wyoming, USA. Now, let's jet over to Wyoming, USA, where the ground puts on a remarkable show that you'd swear was man-made. But it's all natural. Meet Old Faithful, a geyser that's as punctual as the best Swiss watch. Located in the scenic Yellowstone National Park, this geyser shoots boiling water up to 185 feet into the air, and it does this every 90 minutes or so. How is it so regular? Well, it's a mystery of nature's plumbing. Underground, there is a complex system of natural pipes filled with water that's heated by volcanic activity. The water expands, and with nowhere else to go, it bursts through the ground, creating this incredible scene. It's been reliably performing this act for visitors since it was discovered in the 19th century. Imagine the surprise of the first explorers when they stumbled upon this steaming performance. 17. The Everlasting Lightning Storm, Venezuela. Imagine a place where the sky is never dark, illuminated by a relentless lightning storm that seems to defy all logic. This is the scene at Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, where the phenomenon known as the Catatumbo lightning occurs. This isn't your typical thunderstorm. It's a nearly perpetual storm that can light up the night with up to 280 flashes per hour. Why does this happen? It's all thanks to a perfect storm of geographic and climatic conditions. The warm winds from the Caribbean Sea meet the cool air from the Andes Mountains right here, and when the moist air rises over the warm lake, it creates electrical charges. What's even more surprising is that this lightning show has been known to help ships navigate, acting like a natural lighthouse. If you have liked this video so far, please leave a like, and you can also check out 9 unbelievable places that actually exist on our channel Forever Green. 16. The Spotted Lake, Canada. Heading over to Canada, there's a lake that looks like it's playing a massive game of connect the dots. Welcome to the Spotted Lake, officially known as Khalichi, located in British Columbia. During the warmer months, most of the water evaporates, and what's left behind are circles of minerals in all sorts of colors: yellow, blue, green, and even white. These aren't just ordinary spots, they're very high in mineral content, including magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium sulfates. It is said that during World War I, the minerals from this lake were actually harvested to make ammunition. Today, it's protected and considered sacred by the local indigenous people. Each spot is thought to have different healing properties. It's not just a natural wonder, but a cultural treasure as well. 15. The Petrifying Well UK. This place seems more like a wizard's lair than a real location. In North Yorkshire, there's a well that turns everyday objects into stone. Yeah, you heard that right. The Petrifying Well, part of the Mother Shipton's cave site, is famous for its ability to petrify teddy bears, hats, and even baskets into stone. This happens because the water dripping through the well is unusually high in mineral content, particularly calcium carbonate. When objects are placed under the dripping water, over time, they get coated in this mineral which hardens, creating a stone-like outer layer. This process, which geologically would take centuries, occurs here in just a few months. The well has been a source of fascination for centuries, drawing visitors from all around to see this curious natural phenomenon. 14. Movil Cave, Romania. Sealed off for 5.5 million years, this Romanian cave is so isolated that it has its own ecosystem, entirely different from the outside world. Discovered in 1986 near the Black Sea, this cave is completely sealed off from light and filled with toxic gases like hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. Despite these harsh conditions, it's teeming with life. Around 48 species have been found here, and most are found nowhere else on Earth. These creatures have adapted to the extreme environment, thriving without sunlight and relying on chemosynthesis rather than photosynthesis. The air in the cave is so hazardous that scientists need special breathing gear just to explore it. It's like uncovering a lost alien world right beneath our feet. 13. Sailing Stones, Death Valley, USA. In Death Valley, there's a dry lake bed where heavy stones glide across the ground, leaving long trails behind them. This phenomenon, observed at Racetrack Playa, puzzled scientists and spectators alike for many years. How can these rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, simply move on their own? After extensive research, it turns out that the movement occurs under perfect conditions of ice forming around the stones and light winds pushing them along, causing the stones to sail over the slick mud. This explanation, confirmed through experiments with GPS-tracked stones, finally shed light on the mystery. Yet, even knowing the science, watching these sailing stones in action can feel like witnessing a magic trick by Mother Nature. 12. Khalichi, the Sleeping City. Khalichi is a small town in Kazakhstan where an extraordinary phenomenon puzzles everyone who hears about it. Residents of this town have been plagued by a mysterious illness that causes them to fall asleep suddenly, regardless of what they're doing, and remain asleep for about a day's time. Dubbed the Sleeping City, this bizarre occurrence started affecting people out of nowhere.
A number of people there keep falling asleep at random for hours, some even for days on end.
Scientists and doctors jumbled to uncover the cause, suggesting everything from environmental toxins to mass hysteria. But a solid explanation has eluded them for years. Investigations pointed towards increased levels of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons in the air, possibly deriving from abandoned uranium mines nearby, but the exact mechanism still remains a puzzle. It's like a real-life Sleeping Beauty tale, but without all that fairy tale charm. Talking about mysterious places, you can also check out our video on 10 mysterious things found trapped in ice. 11. The Eternal Flame of Chimera. Imagine a place where flames burst from the rocks, burning day and night without any apparent fuel source. This is not the setting of a fantasy novel, but a real location in Turkey known as the Eternal Flame of Chimera. Located in the ancient region of Lycia, natural gases like methane seep through the cracks in the rocks and spontaneously ignite upon contact with the air. The flames of Chimera have been burning for thousands of years, serving as a beacon for ancient mariners and a mystical site for visits. The sight of these eternal fires has given rise to myths and legends, including the belief that they were the breath of a monster killed by the hero Bellerophon. For scientists, this place is a rare natural laboratory to study geological methane emissions, but for visitors, it's a magical and mysterious sight. 10. Devil's Kettle, Minnesota, USA. At Judge C.R. Magny State Park, the Brule River splits into two. One side flows on as normal, merging back with Lake Superior, but the other side takes a detour into a massive pothole and disappears without a trace. Where does it go? Nobody knows. Despite numerous studies, including dye tests and floating sensors, scientists cannot determine where the water goes after it plunges into this seemingly bottomless pit. Theories have ranged from hidden underground caves to secret passages leading to other water bodies, but no conclusive evidence has ever been found. It's like watching half a river vanish into thin air. Just imagine throwing a ball into this kettle and never seeing it again. 9. The Underwater Waterfall, Mauritius. An underwater waterfall in the ocean? How is that even possible? Well, it's actually a visual phenomenon that tricks even the sharpest eyes. Located off the coast of Le Morne, Brabant, this illusion is created by the movement of sand and silt on the ocean floor, driven by underwater currents. From above, the patterns these sediments form give the distinct impression of a flowing waterfall, a surreal and breathtaking sight. However, it's all just a trick of perspective and nature's artistry. Aerial photographs and drone footage of this site often go viral, captivating viewers worldwide with what looks like a massive drop-off. But in reality, it is perfectly safe, and the waters are as flat and navigable as any other part of the ocean. This waterfall is not only evidence to the incredible beauty of nature, but also its ability to fool us with the simplest of tricks. 8. Magnetic Hill. Here is the Magnetic Hill, located on the Lekargol-Srinagar National Highway, where gravity seems to take a holiday. Park your car at the base of the hill, put it in neutral, and watch with amazement as it begins to roll uphill. It's an optical illusion so convincing that it feels like the hill has a magnetic pole. The layout of the surrounding land creates an illusion where a slight downhill slope appears to be an uphill slope. So, while it looks like you're going up, you're actually going down. This quirky spot draws tourists from around the world who are eager to experience this gravity-defying phenomenon. It's a perfect example of how our senses can be fooled by the environment. Just imagine the surprise and confusion of the first travelers who discovered this place and thought that they had found a spot where the laws of physics were reversed. 7. Mount Rorma. Mount Rorma is a place that looks like it belongs on another planet. Straddling the borders of Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana, this tabletop mountain is surrounded by steep cliffs raising 400 meters high, creating a natural fortress that's often shrouded in clouds. When the clouds clear, what you see is a landscape so surreal and isolated that it has inspired legends and stories of lost worlds. The top of Mount Rorma is a world unto itself, covered in unique rock formations, waterfalls that seem to disappear into the clouds, and rare plants that grow nowhere else on Earth. Due to its isolation, the ecosystem on top of Rorma has evolved distinctly from the ground below, making it a real-life lost world. Explorers and scientists are still uncovering new species and geological features, adding to the mystery and allure of this breathtaking location. 6. Kawaen Volcano. Blue lava? Yes, unlike any typical volcanic mountain discharging red lava, Kawaen surprises us with its electric blue flames, lighting up the night sky in an eerie glow. This rare phenomenon is due to the high sulfur content in the volcano. As sulfuric gases come into contact with air temperatures above 360 degrees Celsius, they ignite, producing what appears to be blue lava. During the day, the same sulfur burns with a more traditional yellow color, visible around the edges of the acidic crater lake, known to be the largest acidic lake in the world. The sight is so otherworldly that visitors feel like they've stepped onto an alien planet. The local miners brave these hazardous conditions at night to extract blocks of sulfur. 5. The Boiling River. Imagine a river so hot that stepping into it would burn you instantly. Deep in the heart of the Amazon rainforest of Peru flows the Boiling River, a natural thermal water source that reaches temperatures as high as 100 degrees Celsius. This boiling river was once just a legend, told by the indigenous people until it was officially documented by scientists. The river stretches over 6 kilometers, with vapors rising off its surface, creating a steamy, mystical environment that seems more like a scene from a fantasy film than reality. The heat is generated by geothermal activity beneath the Earth's crust, which superheats the water as it flows through the fault lines. Local lore attributes the river's heat to spiritual powers, considering it a place of healing and a sacred site. For anyone standing on its banks, the sight of boiling water in the midst of the lush, cool rainforest is a natural paradox. 4. The Crooked Forest. In the northwest of Poland lies a forest as twisted as it is captivating, known as the Crooked Forest. What makes this place mysterious are the 400 pine trees that grow with a sharp 90-degree bend at the base, curving towards the north. Planted around 1930, these trees seem to defy natural growth patterns that you'd expect. The reasons behind this odd formation still remain a mystery, though theories are abound. Some suggest that the trees were manipulated by mechanical forces to create naturally curved limber for furniture or shipbuilding, while others speculate on unique gravitational pulls in the area. Whatever the cause, walking through the crooked forest is like stepping into a fairy tale landscape where the laws of nature seem to have gone twisted. 3. Devil's Pool. Travel to the northernmost part of Queensland, Australia, and you'll find a mesmerizing yet dangerous waterhole known as Devil's Pool. Part of the Babinda Boulders, this natural pool is surrounded by myths and legends, particularly of a haunting nature. Local folklore tells of a young woman named Ulana who, torn from her true love, threw herself into the waters, her spirit since attracting young men to their doom. Over the past 50 years, Devil's Pool has claimed more than 17 lives under mysterious circumstances, which only fuels its eerie reputation. The actual danger comes from the pool's deceptive currents and the slippery rocks around it. However, the combination of natural beauty and tragic legend make this place a confusing paradox. Tourists flock here lured by the thrill and the beauty, despite the very clear risks. You think this is amazing? Just wait until you see number 1. It will blow your mind. 2. The Doubletree of Casorzo. Located in Italy, the Doubletree of Casorzo, or Grana Doubletree, presents a cherry tree flourishing directly atop a mulberry tree. This extraordinary union occurs when a cherry seed, likely deposited by a bird, found a hospitable crack in the mulberry tree and began to grow. Over time, the cherry tree rooted itself not in the earth, but through the mulberry's bark, drawing sustenance from its unlikely host. The sight of one fully grown tree sprouting from another bewilders and delights visitors, showcasing a rare natural occurrence of inoculation, or grafting in the wild. 1. The Hestalan Lights. In the remote valley of Hestalan, Norway, a dazzling light show occurs that has both scientists and paranormal enthusiasts scratching their heads. Known as the Hestalan Lights, these unexplained illuminations appear in the sky with no discernible source or pattern, exhibiting colors and movements that defy conventional explanations. Observed since at least the 1930s, the lights vary in color from brilliant white to deep red and can last from mere seconds to over an hour. Various theories have been proposed, from metallic minerals reacting with a sulfurous river running through the valley, to unknown atmospheric gases ionizing. Despite the numerous studies, including permanent observation stations set up in the valley, a definitive explanation remains elusive. And that's it for today. So, which of these places would you dare to visit first? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more captivating adventures from Forever Green.